6th graders to Lincoln Middle School. So they filled in all this information, first name, last name, and then tons of stuff about what they would like to know as a student, concerns that they had about being in middle school around, I'm worried about making friends, I'm not worried about making friends, I'm usually part of the drama, I do drugs, whatever they put on here. Tons of great information that they collected. Super easy to fill one of these out. So I just would go into Google, I click document, or I click documents, and I click to make a form. It gives me a lot of different options. I can do multiple choice questions, I can do fill in the blanks, I can do scaling questions. So, and then I can email this survey out, or I can just pull it up if I'm sitting with kids and, hey, we're going to have you fill this out here really quick. And then the Google survey takes all of this and it drops it into an Excel file. Again, I'm not having to go through paper after paper, like, okay, got another, it's going to put it all in this Excel file for me, and then it's also going to give me a summary of my results. So that's another form tab too. Show summary of responses. So it's going to give me, scroll on down there, breakdown of all of my information as I go through. So it's going to put it all in pie charts, graphs, everything. So this is what we, we see in a lot of kids who are having issues with organizational skills. That's what we kind of designed our first guidance curriculum component around as we started the school year here. So if you scroll down a little bit further there. Just tons of great information. And again, it's all online. It's free to use. You want to show out your boards?
Sure, yeah. How many of you do have Naviance and use the, okay, so it's just a small number. So, as you know, you can do, we at least use the surveys for everything. Our principals are using the surveys to collect data on the culture at our school. Our principals just use it. They're assessing. We have an advisory class trying to figure out is it really doing well or not. So we're assessing that, and we send that out to both parents and students. And then, as counselors, if we do a small group, I'll actually, after I do my curriculum monitors, I'll create a little survey so that I can get feedback on, again, was it worthwhile for the students. So there's all of those surveys and things in Naviance that you can do for students and parents, which is a great tool. What I like about Google Docs, and I'm fairly new to using it, again, Kathy said, learn one thing at a time, so Prezi was my thing this year. But Google Docs I just did lately. Our yearbook students popped by and they were like, instead of having all of the seniors do their quotes in the yearbook, we want teachers to do quotes. And through Naviance, you can't do teacher surveys. And so that's what I created, about 2-minute teacher quote surveys, and sent out an email to staff, and all of a sudden they sent back all of their surveys. So the students just loved me because I could put that together so quickly. So really simple tool to use, again, when we're trying to be data-driven, and we know we're so busy, and our counselors or principals and everybody saying, you got to have the data. Why are you doing this? Well, you can just throw together a quick survey.
Really easy to email the staff, and Crystal told them it's just going to take a couple of seconds. You'll put in your quote. Now that she's on yearbook staff.
Counseling, part of everything.
But a really quick and easy way to create it.
Do you do that so that you say go home and go log in and do this, or do you have a class where you take them to the lab and do that, or how do you get all your students to respond back to your advisory class?
So on the culture one, we're trying to get feedback on that. We actually are going into all of the sophomore level classes, and so yes, we're going to have, we're going into the computer lab, and we're having them do it there. Parents, we're just hoping that we're sending out an email. You can send right through Naviance, group emails to parents, to students, and we're asking, could you please fill this out? And we always have so success, but we're getting better with our parents now that they really are on board with Naviance and stuff. So yeah. Couple of different ways. With my small group, I'll just take them after the small group into our local college and career center, have them fill out the survey right there.
For the Google surveys,
yes.
How do you have the kids access? Do they each have to have a Google account, or do you? How do you?
They don't. It just goes. You can either email it to them if you're sending a mass kind of thing out, or you can just pull it up. So if you had if you were doing registration and you had your computer open and you're registering kids, hey, I'm going to have you sit and take this survey here really quick, or you have a laptop set up in your office, they can just fill it in right there. You just keep the survey up, and it will just continuously upload information into yourself and generate that summary.
So you can't create a link and post it on a website?
You
They
could.
go, oh, you can do that too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Create a link, you can send it out, in an email, we send
Because
it.
when the email goes out, the link is right in the email. So
Okay.
you can get it from home, and you can get it from there, just click on it and go right to it. And literally, of course, if a teacher wanted simple too, they don't want to spend much time, they click it, put in their survey, we're done with it.
And maybe I missed something at the very beginning, but when you pulled this up, there was a whole list of other documents that you probably had on Google
Yeah.
Docs. Is that your account that we?
That is my account that you were looking at. And what's great is that if I go, I think it's file, and then I wanted to do a new one. So the form thing is just right there. There's also from templates. There are tons of other people who, again, it's kind of like those free resources that we saw on Prezi originally. These are public things that people have made public. So you can steal other people's templates and change the wording on them more or less. I mean, you put in what you want, but it's already formatted and everything for you. So easy. I mean, again, if it's already out there, why don't we just steal it and make it our own?
If you have Naviance, it's the same thing. People share surveys and things like that, which is such a great thing. This is the same thing. It's shared right there, so you don't have to be creative.
I think we could try to survey kids. It's easy if you've got them in a class, in a computer lab, and they can do it there, that it gets done. So, somebody else with Naviance.
Want to explain that? Well, it's basically a college and career planning tool. It's web-based, and so it's basically everything about college and career planning in one place. So for students, they can do all of their academic planning, course registration, all of that through Naviance. They can do all of the career interest profiler as far as personality types, and getting connected with careers, exploring careers, a little similar to Bridges and some of that. You can do there's like 4. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's very
We do
expensive.
college applications, transcripts, teachers recommendations, management.
It's a great tool where everything's in one place. And we were able, we did spend a year with our district people to finally get them to purchase it for both our middle school and high school. And so, yeah. And so we're just, Tom and people there who are, and Tom kind of jumped on it last year. I don't know if you want to say what you do with your middle school.
Yeah, for our 8th graders, before the high schools come in for registration, there's a career tab. You can look at some careers that you like, and then there's a plan of study. So it actually gives you a list of 4-year plan for high school. So I've had some students print out that 4-year plan for high school. So when the high school counselors come over for registering, it says, hey, I want to be a marine biologist. So I know in my high school career I need to make sure that I have a lot of these sciences. And so now I'm here to visit my high school counselor. What am I going to take as a 9th grader? And will I be on the right path to get my career goals met? So that's one way we use it. And there's a learning inventory there that we have kids do. And we've done the career surveys for the kids.
That could be a 2-hour discussion. We use both. We truly do. I mean, the middle schools use both. We still, but Naviance again is just a one-stop shop. It's one place to go for everything. And because of our district goals that were really about transition and post-secondary planning, but it still took over a year just to convince them. And now that the state's required all of the ICAPs, it just fit in. So we're doing all of our ICAP stuff in Naviance. So that's, I think, where they're seeing. But, every once in a while they say, well, we might need to cut back on this or something. So we just hope from year to year we just feel fortunate that we do that.
We'll kind of wrap things up here. Is we're good?
Yeah, okay, I don't know. I mean, and you guys may have, there's lots of stuff for data-driven stuff there that I think will be.
Yeah, and if you have questions specific about, because I know there's a handful of you who have Naviance, Crystal's a great resource if you want to grab her and get some tips on how to use the survey feature in Naviance, just so that not everyone has to sit through that, but Google Survey is a free and very easy way to do again, using this kind of stuff and trying these new things requires a certain element of risk, and you heard Pam and I kind of share about the process that we went through to sort of refine this peer project and using books in that program. but I hope that you will take the risk. It is well worth it, and I know that you guys probably have tons more ideas or have other applications and that kind of thing, and feel free to share those at some point. All of our contact information is on the second page of that handout packet. My email is right there. Any questions you have, if you get stuck on something or you need another